Welcome to the podcast, guys, with Rob and Nando. We're going to get into a video that's been going viral worldwide. If you guys haven't seen Coldplay, well, you'll get to know them now. So let's jump into the video.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. I'm not quite sure.
Uh-oh. Well, so just to discuss this video, just to break it down, this video has been going viral for a good week or so now, and it's basically a man and a woman together at a concert, getting intimate together, but it's not just your normal couple. It's Andy Byron, the CEO of Astronomer, and Kristen Cabot, who is the head of HR or the chief people officer of Astronomer, which makes things quite complicated in this situation. They are not a couple. They work together. One's the boss of another. And there's a lot of issues, a lot of problems that have occurred here. So, Rob, you want to jump into a little bit more of the breakdown?
Yeah, so basically, I'm sure most of you have already seen this video, right? It's been viral for the last few weeks. So when I first saw this video and I read the details of it and, you know, what actually went down, if this was a normal couple, I don't really think this is really that uncommon, right? Somebody has a side piece, they go out for dinner. In this case, they went out for a concert. Nothing really that crazy went down. The reason this turned into such a spectacle is because this guy's the CEO of a big company. From what I read, his net worth is like $20 to $70 million. Okay. So whenever somebody that rich gets negative publicity, it becomes a huge problem because now, which we're going to get into in a little bit, now he's at risk of losing his job, which he did. He had to step down, right? It's been all over the news. He's getting a lot of backlash for the fact that he cheated on his wife. So I think this got blown completely out of proportion because of the level of man that he is.
Yeah, I mean, practically what happened was an affair. I mean, who knows how long this has been going on for? This doesn't seem to be likely the first time that they've been together somewhere, but first time it seems like together in a public place such as a Coldplay concert up in Gillette Stadium. And they pretty much got called out. I mean, Chris Martin, the head guy of Coldplay, pretty much said they're either having an affair or they're shy. And he hit it smack right on the button. They were having an affair. I mean, their reaction just says it all. I mean, Andy was married to, or is currently married to, Megan Kerrigan, and she actually deleted the last name of Byron off of her Facebook, and I believe she deleted her Facebook as well. And Kristen Cabot, there's been sources, again, we're getting everything from sources, and of course we're giving our thoughts and opinions on it. And basically she was either divorced or she was married. I mean, it says that she's been married to Andrew Cabot, CEO of Privateer Rum. Mm-hmm. So there's a couple of things there, not 100% on, but again, they were both either married or just Andy was married, she's been divorced, whatever the case is, the affair occurred. And it's crazy how this has been blown up. It seems like misery likes company. A lot of people are going through it, and when they see someone of that high of a profile going through it as well, they jump on it, they make fun of it, they'll spread the word of what happened and the affair and how bad it is. So it seems like that's what's taken this to another level than what it should have been.
people generally love scandals like this, cheating scandals. Perfect example. A few weeks ago, we did a video on Nick Galante, regular guy with a regular girl. In that case, she cheated. He flipped out on her, and the thing went viral. I mean, we did like one short on TikTok that got like 300K views, and these are normal people, average Joe people. This is a guy that's a multi-millionaire, the head of CEO of a major company. So, I personally, when I read the story and I read the details of it, I don't see the craziness of it all. It's like they were at a concert. Yeah, technically he was cheating. The camera went on them and he had his hands around her waist. It's not like they got caught having sex in Central Park in a bush somewhere, like something over the top. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like they had a sex tape or something. It's people kind of blow things like this out of proportion. And I think what you said is true. It's because of who he is. If these were just two average people, nobody would really give a shit. But because it's a CEO of a company, of course, it's got to be headline news. But what actually happened, I think the whole thing's kind of stupid, personally.
Yeah, usually in stadiums, you have the kiss cam. You have folks go on the Jumbotron, and they try to make it a fun thing. And that's what Chris Martin tried to do, was throw in the Jumbotron right in the middle of the concert, have it, take videos of people in the stadium and just make it a fun thing. But it turned out to be the worst nightmare for these two people. I would say this couple, but they're not technically a couple. So I would say first question, and this is the big one, which caused it. Mm-hmm. Do you think that their reaction right there in that moment when they were put on the screen, if they hadn't reacted that way, where he ducked out of the way and she put her hands on her face and then turned away and gave that reaction like, oh, this is not what we wanted, we're not supposed to be on this video. If they hadn't reacted this way, do you think this would have gone viral? Do you think this would have gotten the reaction that it currently has at the moment?
Yeah, I think their reaction is what gave it away, right? Because this was just like bad timing. We go to baseball games all the time. Your odds of being put on the screen are very low. Unless you're like a kid, doing something cute, or maybe you have a sign. But like the amount of people that are at games, at concerts, unless you're somebody like, an actor or a singer, like somebody famous. This guy's rich, but I don't think he's famous. I don't think most people would recognize him, right? Your odds of being on that camera are very low. So they just happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. But their reaction gave it away. It made them look guilty. Like, you could obviously tell they were doing something they shouldn't be. And I think that's what added to the virality of the video, because when people replay it, they're reacting to the video itself, right? If they were just sitting there and they kind of played along with it, maybe it wouldn't have given away the fact that they're cheating.
Exactly. They may have been possibly caught later on if somebody had recorded the video and then sent it out and like, oh, mm-hmm. I saw Andy or I saw Kristen at this concert. They were together, blah, blah, blah. There could have been a possibility that still someone would have found out. It would have gone back to the victims in this case, which is their spouses or possibly their former spouses. Who knows what's going to go down, but it looks like it's not looking good per se right now. But if they had just stayed normal, as you said, they had just kept hugging and basically not made any sort of reaction, not like a scary reaction, like an oh my God type of reaction, then I think they would have been fine for the most part. Nobody would have looked into searching them and finding information about them and finding out that he's a high profile CEO and a high value guy, maybe not popular, not famous, but CEO of a company, has a lot of money, and that she works with him as well. So I think their reaction pretty much gave it away. It didn't make sense for them to react that way, but the thing is that it was so unexpected, mm-hmm. and they were so surprised that in that moment, it's a split-second decision. You're going to be like, oh, shoot, and then turn away. They got caught. They felt like they got caught, and they just made it worse by their reaction.
See, I think the first mistake that he made, because like you said, the guy's a CEO of a company. He's obviously cheating on his wife. It's a big deal, especially when you're a CEO of a company, because you have to understand any negative publicity for a CEO of a company, the company is going to ask you to step down or you're going to get let go. A guy like that can't afford to have any negative publicity, whether it's cheating or anything else, right? The first mistake he made, in my opinion, is if you have to cheat, you have a side piece, you're doing your thing, do not take her to a public area, especially a concert or a game where there's like thousands, tens of thousands of people. If you have to cheat, do it in private. I understand. Take her to like a low-key restaurant. Take her to a hotel room. You know, leave the state or country if you have to. But taking her to a concert, even if they didn't get put on the screen, there's a very good chance if you continue that, somebody sooner or later is going to see you. Most scandals, right? When you look at these like celebrity scandals, how does it usually happen? Somebody sees them in public, whether it's paparazzi or somebody just takes their phone out and zooms in, takes a picture or video, and boom, and it's news. He shouldn't have taken her to a concert. I think that was stupid on his part. That was risky.
You're right. I mean, he pretty much put himself in a position to get caught for something like that to happen. And again, how many thousands of people were there? You know, it was 2 people and probably 30, 40, 50,000 people. Who knows how many there were, but what are the chances? Well, it happened. It happened. It can happen to anyone. And that leads me to my next question. Should privacy be respected for anyone in a public scenario, whether or not they were interested, whether or not they were intimate or really just hanging out together, just people in general? Should their privacy be respected in public?
So this is where things get a little bit tricky because Andy Byron, after this all happened, he publicly stated that he wanted to sue Coldplay. He wanted to sue the band. Crazy. And his legal team apparently looked at the whole thing and told him that he doesn't really have a case because, number one, when you're at a concert or a game, they're allowed to put you on the screen. It's just a part of being there. It's kind of assumed that there's a chance that might happen, right? So they basically told him, like, look, there was no ill intention by the band's part or by that stadium or wherever they were, so he didn't really have a case. So should it be respected? Yes, but I think, going back to what I just said a second ago, if you're cheating, it's common sense. Don't go to a public area like this because you're just asking to get caught. I mean, what happened to them is like the worst case scenario. Like the odds of them ending up on that screen is like 1 in like, I don't even know, 20, 30,000, like however many people were there. He shouldn't have taken her to a concert like that.
Definitely not. I think when you put yourself out there, you're at a public venue, you're at a concert, they're filming, there's cameras everywhere. There's a chance that you're going to be caught on camera. And it just so happened that it was 2 people with a pretty high profile, of course, not famous, but high profile in the type of jobs status they were at their job, correct, how much money they have, what type of people they were, with, married to, whatever the case is. And it happened. They put themselves in the bad spot. So if not condoning this in any way, but if you're ever going to have a side piece, man or woman, you should do it out of the limelight. Stay out of the public light because if you're in public, you should be able to get filmed. I mean, it's just what it is.
Correct. Especially at a place. It's you're at a public venue, so there is no privacy really. Go ahead.
Now, Andy Byron they're saying worth 20 to 70 million. Mm-hmm. Crazy range, but that would be his net worth. Do you think that's worth losing half of his money in a divorce by being with a 52-year-old?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question right there. If I were in his shoes, I don't think it's worth risking. I don't condone cheating. I've said this multiple times in this podcast. Like, a lot of the times we talk about what women do and the risks of marriage and all that stuff. I never condone cheating. I'm completely against it. I think he took a very big risk and it wasn't even worth it. Not to mention the woman that he cheated with was like an older 50-year-old woman with like gray hair. If you're gonna take that risk, go for like a hot girl or a younger girl. Like He risked all of that. When I saw the picture of her, I was like, all right, let me see who he cheated with. It's probably some like young piece. You risked all of that for her.
Exactly. He should have gotten somebody younger, whether they're in their late 20s, early 30s, somebody younger that's hot. When you're in that position, when you have that much money, when you have that status, you should have definitely gone for somebody much younger. But I guess he tried to stay comfortable, stay within, and he's going to get hit hard for that, unfortunately, that based on what they're saying.
Why do you think he did it? Since we're on the topic, why? From what I read, they had a normal family. They have kids. They obviously have money. They live like a perfect life. So why would this guy cheat on his wife?
Well, that's the problem. Their life must have not been perfect for him to go off and cheat.
Yeah.
And think about what's going on behind closed doors in marriages nowadays. How many sexless marriages there are, right? How much marriage takes away intimacy between husband and wife. You throw kids in the picture. You throw working longer hours at jobs. You throw getting older, being tired, not wanting to do it anymore. Maybe his wife wasn't giving him any. Maybe his wife wasn't putting out. He was probably trying to get intimate, trying to make things work, and it just wasn't working. So instead of getting divorced and putting his wealth at risk, his life at risk, with financially, status-wise, he went off and tried to hide it so he would prevent those losses, but he didn't do a good enough job doing so. So I think what happens at home causes what he does outside of the home, which is going off to cheat because his woman at home is not giving him what he's looking for. Maybe she was at the beginning. You know, they seem to be together for years. I'm not sure how many years, but they have, I believe, some children, older children. And maybe things just kind of tapered off. The love tapered off. Maybe then they're not into each other as much as they used to be, or she's not into him as much as she used to be. And humans have needs. He was trying to get either that love or that intimacy from somewhere else. You know, we're humans, we're animals. If we can't get it from one person, you're going to want to get it from somewhere else. And it looks like that's what he just did there.
I know women are going to hate hearing this, but I have to say it. This guy is worth $20 to $70 million. He should be able to screw anything and anybody that he wants.
How dare you?
Yeah.
If this woman was smart, I know she's going to have to take that it's going to be a harsh pill to swallow. She's going to have to swallow her pride on this one. She would be a fool to leave this guy. She will never have the type of lifestyle that he's able to provide for her. And many other podcasters and influencers have touched on this. You always hear that phrase, high value male. It's to the point where it's almost like overused, but this is a high value male. This guy's worth tens of millions of dollars, okay? He can screw whoever he wants. It doesn't matter. It's right or wrong. This isn't like the last time we covered Nick Galante, where it's two average people, they live an average lifestyle, and the wife cheated. That's not the same. This is a multimillionaire. If she divorces him, of course she's going to get half of his net worth, his cash, half of his properties, his investments. Great. But what's going to happen after that? If she stays with him, I think they could talk this stuff through, do their little counseling, figure out what went wrong. Because like you said, he cheated for some reason. Maybe they were arguing. Maybe she wasn't sleeping with him. Maybe he was just over it. Like, shit happens. When people get married, 8 to 10 years later, it's not the same anymore, right? It's not as exciting. He needed something from this woman, whether it was excitement. Like you said, maybe you don't know what they were doing together. Maybe he's sleeping with her. Maybe he isn't. People are just going to automatically assume that he was. Doesn't matter. This guy is rich. He's providing a lifestyle for his wife, for his kids. At very least, he should be able to do this stuff. And I know women are going to hate hearing that shit, but that's just my take on it. If you're worth that much money, you've earned it.
And I think women are going to hate hearing this too. Men go out and are intimate, have sex with women, and if they take care of you, if you're the main woman, if you're the wife, if you're the girlfriend, and he's the one taking care of you, giving you the money, providing for you, buying you things, giving you the house, providing with the cars, the lifestyle, and he's going out and he's screwing around with another woman, then you should let him. Because if you're not doing the job or doing the job the right way, then he should be able to, with that kind of wealth, find it from somewhere else. And again, there's going to be a lot of hate on this, but that's the reality. If a woman is taken care of and a man is taking her on trips and buying her purses and giving her that lavish lifestyle, then she's going to be willing to most likely share that guy with another woman so he can get his intimacy. Because again, for a man going out and having sex with a woman, it's not like he's giving her the lifestyle. It's to women, it's like cheating, but to men, it isn't. It's like, hey, I have to get this out of the way. Because
there's no emotions involved.
There's no emotions involved. I have something that I just want to get off my chest. I want to not necessarily spread my seed, because it's not like he's going off to impregnate her, but that's what men do. Men want to spread their seed, per se, go around and have sex, because not one woman, just one woman is going to be able to satisfy that guy, especially that guy of that status and that amount of money. He's going to want to be satisfied by multiple women. He should make it clear ahead of time, but then again, there were probably problems going on within that relationship, that marriage, that had him say, you know what, screw it, I'm going to go do my thing, but I'm still going to come back home to her, to the kids. I'm going to take care of them. They're living in our house. We're sharing our cars. We have the lifestyle. She's being taken care of. And that's what men of that caliber hope that she recognizes.
Any woman that wants a rich, powerful man like this guy needs to understand that this is what it comes with. Okay? You want the financial security, you want the lifestyle, you want the multi-million-dollar house, the expensive, lavish vacations, the nice cars. You'll get it. But the guy's going to bang whatever he wants. That's just the truth. And another thing that women are going to hate hearing, at the end of the day, he doesn't need her. He doesn't. He doesn't need her or the girl, that woman that he cheated with. In this case, he's the breadwinner. He's the multimillionaire. The guy's 50 years old. He has at best maybe another 10 years of the energy to actually go out and do this type of stuff. Let him live his life. He gave you the kids. He gave you the lifestyle. I don't know the exact age of the kids, but the kids are pretty much grown. They're not like toddlers. They're like teenagers, at least from what I saw. Let the guy do what he wants.
Divorce rates and separations are more than 50, probably 60% at this point, and most of those are initiated by women. That man probably didn't want to go through that. He was probably trying to avoid that, keep his family intact.
I was thinking the same thing.
And just do what he wants to do. Just be able to be that human that we all are, and be able to find that intimacy and be able to just have sex. It's like, again, going to the bathroom. Hey, I have to go to the bathroom. I have to, take a piss. That's it. That's what it is to a man. It wasn't anything major that a man tries to get out of being with another woman. Maybe it seems like there was more emotions involved since they were hugging. Maybe. But maybe that's just him leading up to sex eventually and it not being a serious thing. Because then again, she may be married, but she may have been divorced, so she may have been in the same situation that he's in. Both being married, it's a big thing to have fall apart. And obviously they were hiding it because they didn't want it to fall apart.
For the past 2 years, we've been saying that we highly urge men not to get married, right? We're not telling you what to do, but our opinion, don't get married. It's not worth the risk. But rich men should especially avoid marriage, okay? because you have a target on your back. Look, let's say he was unhappy in the marriage, right? He's only human. Like the connection was lost. They no longer have a sex life. Maybe they argue a lot. He's unhappy in the marriage. What options did he have? Option one was to just stay with the wife and be miserable. Option two would be to divorce her and then definitely lose half of his money, and then he would have still probably went viral and had negative publicity. Option three would be to get a side piece, keep it on the DL, privately spend time with her, and I think that was the best option. I think he was onto the right idea. He screwed up by taking her to a public place. I've said this multiple times before. Women are much better at cheating. I noticed that women know how to keep it on the DL, how to keep it hush-hush, how to cover up the tracks. Men, we are idiots. We're going to cheat, and then we're going to take her to a fucking concert and end up on the fucking Jumbotron. That could only happen to a man. So I think he had the right idea because, like you just said, divorcing her, I don't think was the right answer because, again, he would have lost half his shit guaranteed.
Automatic.
The smart thing to do, stay with the wife. You don't want to break up the family. I get it. You have kids involved and have a side piece, but don't be stupid.
Do you think that him taking accountability and apologizing, or both of them, would help their situation, their cause?
Publicly apologize?
Publicly take accountability and apologize because he is or was trying to sue Coldplay. But again, you're in a public arena, public stadium. It's bound to happen. You're bound to be put on camera. It just so happened that wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, it's a valid question. I think at this point it all depends on what is going to happen next. Because number one, the big question in the air right now is we don't know if his wife is going to file for a divorce or not. Some people might say she definitely is. I personally think it might go either way. She might stay with him. I think it's a smart thing to do. Or she is going to divorce him. So I think that's really the main thing now, because I'm trying to put myself in his shoes. Would I publicly apologize? I think like the egotistical side of me wouldn't want to. It's almost like a double middle finger because look, the guy already lost his job. He already got publicly humiliated. His videos are all over the internet. In a way, I wouldn't want to apologize because, again, like just to defend what I was saying earlier, I think the guy should be able to do whatever the hell he wants. He's a grown man. He's 50 years old. He's a multimillionaire. He won at life. Screw an apology, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it'd be a double punch to the face.
Yeah.
Where, they both resigned. He resigned and he's going to take accountability and apologize. Maybe he doesn't think that he has anything to apologize for or to be accountable for.
Correct.
And women don't take accountability anyway.
Correct.
For the most part. So
correct.
It's not like she's going to take accountability for what she did on her end. So it's up in the air right now what'll happen. I mean, I don't think they've mentioned divorce on either side yet. It looks like it's leading that way, though, based on it was said that she took off and went to another one of the homes, and the wife of Andy, the man that cheated, and the woman that cheated apparently doesn't have the wedding ring on. So it seems like, again, not too sure. We're, again, not too sure about that specific thing. We're going off of sources and giving our thoughts on the situation, as we said in the beginning. But if she is married, then it looks like they're heading to a breakup because she doesn't have a wedding ring on that she did have on.
The wife has two choices right now. She could divorce him and lock in half of his net worth, which most women go for. So let's be real. It's probably what's going to happen. Or she could stay with him. She could always, remember, if she stays with him, the option for divorce is always there. It's not like she has anything to lose at this point. That's why, like, whenever something like this happens and they try to, like, blow it out of proportion and make it seem like, oh, the poor wife. If she gets divorced and she walks away with, like, $10 to $20 million, do you think she's going to really give a shit?
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm sure her feelings are hurt or she's embarrassed or whatever, but, like, let's not pretend that when all this, a year from now, nobody's going to be talking about this. In the best case scenario, she's going to walk away with, like, $10 million clean.
But she shouldn't just think of, okay, I'm walking away with the money and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
She should think of also losing him because, yeah, she's going to get the $10 million,
yes.
but isn't it like she's being taken care of by a rich man right now anyway.
Correct.
So isn't that more important to have someone you can be with around to still continue the family, try to keep things together, even though it's going to be pretty tough now with all the public scrutiny that they're enduring. But they should, in my opinion, she should put things aside and really try to push forward, because this is not your average Joe Schmo. This
Exactly.
is a top-tier CEO, high-value guy.
Correct.
Now, looking at infidelity in the U.S., do you think that it should be something that should become illegal? Should it get to that point where infidelity is illegal? Because there's so much risk, we'll say on both sides, but there's so much more risk to the man and what he can lose, and, you know, just the house, the cars. We talk about it all the time. What their life that can fall apart. They can go from living well, having their house, having their wealth, to losing most of their wealth, losing some legal battles, in that case losing more money, and ending up in some basement somewhere living, you know, probably living back with older parents. Who knows? Do you think that for that reason, infidelity as a whole in general should be illegal?
I think what they absolutely have to do is update marriage laws. And I'll give you an example of what I mean. When you get married, you're basically signing a legal contract. You're getting the government involved, right? We've already beat this horse over and over again. When a man and a woman get divorced, the man loses half his shit. Doesn't matter if he's like an average guy or a wealthy guy. What I think needs to happen is they need to put clauses or like some rules into the contract, meaning if one of the other parties cheats, okay, it waives the rights to any child support or any alimony. That's first and foremost. So do I think it should be made illegal? No, but I think when it comes to marriage specifically, it needs to break the terms of the agreement. A marriage is a contract. So if you sign a lease for a house, okay, there's certain rules. If you don't pay the rent, you get kicked out. If you break things in the house, you lose your deposit, right? You can't just like sign a lease and it's whatever you want. If it doesn't work out, oh well. Marriage has to have certain rules like that, and that's what they need to update.
Yeah, I think when a woman does something wrong in the marriage, the man should not be at fault and lose half his shit.
No.
Because he wants to get divorced, or even because she wants to get divorced.
Correct.
If it is the woman's fault, then she should bear all the consequences. The consequences should not be on the man to have to give half his shit away, give probably his house, be kicked out of his house, give half of his vehicles away. You know, maybe he has 4 vehicles, have to give her 2 of what he paid for.
See, I know they have prenups, but prenups aren't enough. I think you have to have legislation. You have to have a legal writing in the contract. Like when you get married, I think all that stuff should be spelled out in the contract. That's what they have to change. It can't just be like, well, we're married now, and let's see what happens, and then you get screwed in the end. You know what I'm saying?
And this is why guys are afraid to jump into marriage, because of the legal ramifications. I mean, imagine working half your life, or half your life. I'm getting into the halves. Imagine working all your life up to that point where you're married, you think things are going great, and then all of a sudden a light switch goes off in her, and she decides to get divorced. Could be a year after the marriage. It could be 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. It could be a month after the marriage. The guy is still going to lose out on a lot. And this guy has worked his whole life to build what he has up to that point. Is it fair for that man to lose any of that? No. Especially if it's on her, if she's the one who's causing the divorce. Now, it's a different story. If he did something to cause the divorce, if he cheated technically, that's wrong. They got divorced because of that. He's at fault. He should pay up, right? But if the woman is the one who's causing the divorce, which, again, women are the leaders that initiate divorces. If they're the one who initiate divorces with no consequences to them, then things have to change, because most of the consequences are against the men, sometimes when it's not even their fault.
In this case, he cheated. In this case, he broke the contract. I get it. He was in the wrong. That does not entitle her to half of his shit. That does not entitle her to half of his net worth, his cash, his investments, his properties, whatever else he has. And that's what needs to change, because, you know, we've talked about this in the past, how women kind of make fun of men because we always talk about gold diggers, and they're like, well, you don't have any gold to dig. It doesn't really matter, because this guy's a multimillionaire. But if this were to happen to an average Joe Schmo, I would even argue that average guys get hit harder, because, you know, look at this guy's net worth. Like, let's just say he's worth $30 million and he loses half of it. You still got $15 million. I don't think you're going to be on the street. You're going to still be living a pretty nice lifestyle.
You'll still be okay.
You'll still be okay.
You'll still be okay.
But, you know, if you have like $50K in savings and you're making, I don't know, $20, $30 an hour, and she takes half of your stuff and you have to pay child support, average guys get hit way harder in divorces. So I just want to put that out. Jeff Bezos got a divorce. He lost half his money. Do you think it really affected him? No, it did not.
Yeah. Bill Gates got hit with divorce too.
If he made it to that point, any man that's made it to the point where he has 30, 40, $50 million, I'm pretty sure he'll find a way to make it back. You know what I'm saying?
100%. I mean, again, if it's on the woman, then she should bear the responsibility. That's it. Shouldn't be on the guy, because that's why men are just scared to get into it.
Yep.
And that's why we tell guys don't get into marriage, because you never know. The woman could be the greatest woman ever. You could be living a fairy tale, right? Could be like freaking Cinderella, where you're putting on the shoe and all of a sudden she marries you. It's all fine and dandy. You have kids, and then you have the house with the white picket fence. All the dreams are coming true. But then all of a sudden, one day she wakes up, makes a 180, and you're kicked out of the house. You lose half your shit, and your life spirals out. And men don't deserve that. Men don't deserve that. I'm not saying all men are perfect. But what we're talking about in this instance is men need to stop getting screwed over by the system.
Yep.
Men need to stop getting screwed over by marriage.
Correct.
And men need to stop getting married, period, because of it. If it doesn't change, if it changes, great. But if it doesn't change, marriage should be done for a lot of men. And the men that are getting married still are dumb. There are men that are going to get married. Good luck to you guys that do get married. Be careful, though. Just be very careful.
Marriage in the U.S. with the current laws, it's not a smart move to get married. To each their own. If you decide to do it, that's on you. There's another part of this video that I want to turn to that I thought was very interesting. So you guys know that he cheated, he got caught, so on and so forth. The other part of this is they apparently caught him DMing from a fake Instagram account, a Finsta, Sophie Rain. He apparently was DMing her. I don't know if it was on OnlyFans or on Instagram, but he apparently was going back and forth with her. And she made a public response saying, and I thought this was classic, this was hilarious. Sophie Rain said, as a Christian woman, I don't condone this type of behavior.
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing. You get me?
When that's all she does.
The OnlyFans creator, the 20-year-old OnlyFans creator, doesn't condone this type of behavior. And, you know, the reason I wanted to get into this is because this is a whole nother issue. Is like, these women are out of their mind. I don't know what feminism has really done to them. You're an online sex creator, okay? And you're 20 years old. Nobody cares what you condone. And if you were a Christian woman, quote unquote, you wouldn't be doing OnlyFans to begin with. It's so stupid or arrogant to say, I don't condone this type of behavior. Please, like.
What should not be condoned is her behavior on OnlyFans and for all these women on OnlyFans doing what they do. But the thing is that, unfortunately, and this is a hit to you guys out there, you men out there, is that you guys supporting this delusion, paying for this $3.99 video every month, you're supporting. You're feeding the monster. And if you want change to happen, it's got to stop.
You know what? I kind of got out of all this, like between like the cheating on his wife and like the OnlyFans thing. If there's any women watching, I think this is just like a subtle reminder. Men are always going to be sexually driven. I think women have this silly idea that, well, an older, mature man wouldn't act like that. That's bullshit. I don't care if the guy's 18 or 65. I don't care if he's broke or he's rich. It doesn't really matter. Men are sexually driven, period. If you don't keep your men sexually happy, satisfied, he is eventually going to cheat. So when women are looking at this whole thing and making a whole mockery out of it, at least take that lesson out of it, because I'm telling you, I hear this all the time. Women will say like, oh, I want an older, mature man who can control his sexual urges. No, they're trying to bang too. This guy's 50. He's still trying to lay pipe. He's not 85 years old.
And this is not, again, the average guy that doesn't have a choice. This guy has status. This guy has money. He seems to be pretty confident. He's going to have options. So when there's a guy of that value, high value, and, add fame on top of it, add potential good looks on top of it, for any guy that has all that package, they're going to go off and cheat. So expect it.
Any man that makes that much money on his own should have the freedom to do whatever he wants. Remember, he's not an OnlyFans creator. He didn't get it the easy way in life where he just posted pictures of his feet. Or Sophie Rain, by the way, going back to her, from what I read, she doesn't even post nudes. And I think she made net $50 million from OnlyFans. She doesn't even post nudes.
Because of the simps out there.
Because of the simps out there.
You guys have to stop simping. You're feeding the delusion of these women. And eventually looks fade. And the way these women handle money, it's great. You're making the money, but make sure you're investing it properly, because if you're not investing it properly, then it's just going to go away. As easy as it came, it's going to easily go. Easy come, easy go.
We live in strange times because, not only has social media given women the ability to have endless external validation, it builds their ego up. They feel like celebrities, right? Because they can travel all over the world and get attention from all these different types of guys. But on top of it, they're becoming multi-millionaires in the process. And they don't even necessarily have to post nudes. I think sometimes when people hear OnlyFans, they automatically assume it's pornographic content or nude content. Not necessarily. Sophie Rain doesn't post nudes. Bad Baby, we did a video on her. She also made 60+ million from OnlyFans. Doesn't post nudes. These women are getting rich off this shit.
And you know what? Just to be on their side for 1 second, I can't blame them.
I can't blame them either.
Because if they can do it, they will do it. Since they are able to monetize videos of their bodies,
yep,
they're going to do it and continue doing it, because that's what's keeping them and their lifestyle afloat.
Let me tell you something. I completely get it, because as a woman, if you're able to make millions of dollars and not even post nudes or exploit yourself to that degree, it's just like you're posting basically similar stuff that you post on Instagram, bikini pictures, lingerie, women post that type of shit anyway for free. You might as well get paid on it. So I do get it.
Yeah, why would a woman go in and work a 9 to 5 and struggle to make maybe at best $20, $25 an hour?
Yep.
That minimum wage is not even that high at the moment. And not do something where they can make thousands a day, hundreds of thousands a month. In a year, maybe make some millions. It's insane. I mean, not all the women make that much, but they're well off.
I think, especially Gen Z, most people nowadays, the new dream is not to be an actor or a singer or anything of that nature. It's to be an online creator and make millions of dollars that way, and to be able to work at home.
Yeah, and to have the time to do what you want, to have the freedom to do what you want. I can understand that. Now, just to turn it up to the other side a little bit, because we didn't speak about this. Mm-hmm. How can this shakeup affect how colleagues interact in the workplace?
Well, number one, and this is a prime example right here, generally it is a very bad idea to hook up with coworkers. That should have been known by now. Hooking up with coworkers is a bad idea because it's an HR nightmare. In this case, he actually was banging the HR the HR executive. So that's kind of ironic.
It's an HR nightmare for the head of HR.
For the head of HR. But most jobs, especially in a corporate environment, you're risking your job. It's bad news. But you're asking like, how will this affect rules or
just in future? How will seeing something like this occur affect how colleagues interact in other jobs, careers? Because again, this is viral worldwide. This is all over the place. This is blown up. Again, we're posting the video a little bit, past the time, but again, we're talking about some important things here. That's why we're doing this episode. And a lot of people are mocking it too. They said a lot of people there's memes on it about it.
Yeah, of course.
There was actually a clip at a baseball game. There was, I believe, a Phillies game where the Fanatic, the mascots were hugging each other.
I saw that.
Just like the CEO and just like Andy and Kristen were doing. And they were making fun of it. People were laughing about it, just having a good time seeing it because it's so unexpected. You can't believe it happened. And there's so much public scrutiny over it. So you just wonder how it's going to affect now how people work it out in the workplace, especially when some people are thinking of having relations with one another, because it does happen.
I think what will happen. So first thing is Astronomer, the company that he was the CEO at. I think they knew they had to make a response to this. So they actually did a very clever thing with this. They turned it into a positive. So they hired Gwyneth Paltrow, and they made a very short response video where they kind of flipped it around. You got to watch the video. Go on YouTube and look up Gwyneth Paltrow Astronomer, and you'll see what I mean. And they kind of turned it into an ad. So they basically took questions that people asked, like negative questions, trying to exploit the company, and they cleverly turned it into like a positive ad. So go out and watch the video. How do I think this will affect like the work culture? I think when it comes to major corporations, it is just going to make HR and the rules around that stuff even stricter. Nowadays, if you work in corporate, all it takes is for you to look at a girl the wrong way or make the wrong comment, and you're risking your job. I think when stuff like this happens, these companies probably have meetings and like, shit, we can't afford for something like this to happen. We can't have the negative publicity because it'll screw up everything. Their stock value. It's for companies, it's a problem when something like this happens. So props to them for how they handled it. I think whenever this happens, I don't know about small businesses. I wouldn't take it that far, but corporations, I think, are going to get even more strict on the HR side. Yeah.
And then how is, especially an HR person and an HR person that's the head of HR, how are they supposed to uphold the code of ethics and make disciplinary decisions as well when something like this happened and it seems like they can't be trusted?
Yeah, it's hard to say because in this particular case, you're talking about the CEO cheating with the HR lady. So that's like two, if you want to say powerful people in the company, the CEO and the person that makes all the decisions around hiring and firing, cheating together. So that's kind of rare in my opinion. I do believe though that it's pretty common for women to have they call it like a work husband. And I think in every workplace, somebody has a crush on somebody. Somebody's looking at somebody else. You gossip and, oh, yo, you see that girl, whatever. I just think you can't be stupid. Like, it's for men especially. I would urge you to not hook up with a girl at work.
Yeah, I think you don't want to shit where you eat, as they say.
No.
And best thing to do is within work to just keep it strictly work and avoid the relationship where it gets personal,
just not worth
intimate, because it's not worth it. If you plan on not being at that job in the near future, we're talking a different story. You can start thinking about exploring something with someone if they're reciprocating that back as well. But if it's a job that you plan on keeping for the long run, I wouldn't mess around with it. You also don't want any negative recommendations. Like if you're trying to get another job in the future and you go back and try to get a recommendation from that job, it's best not to shit where you eat and shit where you might eat in the future.
Look, Andy Byron in this particular case, he was the CEO, right? I think he's going to have a very hard time landing a position like that ever again because of the negative publicity. Unless it's years from now, I think he's going to have a very hard time. No company is going to make him the CEO because they just don't want that negative publicity to transfer them. They can't afford to do that. So in his case, he's either going to have to accept a lower position. He's 50, so he's nearing retirement age, but he's not there yet. But he has enough money to retire. So I don't know. We'll see what turns out of this.
And how can people have respect for a CEO or an HR person in general in any job? How can anybody look up to these people and have that respect for that leadership anymore when they see something like this happen?
Correct. And it just shows that he took, in that high of a position, you have to have self-control and you have to avoid, any possible negative publicity or making stupid mistakes like this because you simply cannot afford to do it. When you're at that high of a level, if you're an entry-level, representative, salesperson or something, the CEO, you can't afford anything like that to happen. And that goes for anybody, politicians, you're a mayor, a governor, like anybody that's really up there, you can't afford to have something like this happen. And that was it, like you asked me before, was it worth it? In this particular case, it wasn't worth him taking this risk. It screwed everything up. He lost his job. Now he's going to lose half his net worth. And I'm sure he's going to be dealing with this nightmare for quite some time afterwards.
Now, do you think there's going to be also legal ramifications within? I mean, they both resigned, but within any legal ramifications because it affected the perception of that company.
That's a possibility. That's definitely a possibility. They may come after him legally later. Who knows? To cover the cost of look, they had to hire Gwyneth Paltrow to make that response. I don't know what's going to happen. They might go after him legally. That's just even more, to add insult to injury. I'm sure he'll be dealing with some legal cases. The U.S. is a very sue each other type of a country. It's bound to happen.
And what can people take away from all around the world from this type of betrayal, from seeing something like this happen in the public eye?
Like I've said since square one, I've never condoned cheating. I think cheating is wrong, whether it's on the female part or the male part. Even if you have a valid reason, I don't believe in it. I also do believe in like good and bad karma. I think this was a mistake on his part. But what can we learn from it? Look, don't cheat. But if you absolutely have to, like in his case, I get it. He didn't want to divorce her. He needed something else from another woman. Be smart about it. Don't go out to public places. Don't set yourself up to get caught. Don't get caught lacking. If you have to cheat, do it in private. Take her to a hotel room or do it somewhere where you know for sure you're not going to run into anybody and you're not going to end up on a damn Megatron.
And how about because we didn't talk about them that much, but how about the victims in this?
Yeah.
Direct victims, meaning Megan Kerrigan, and which is the wife of the CEO, and Andrew Cabot, the husband of the HR.
Oh,
head of
right.
HR.
Correct.
What must they be feeling right now?
Look, getting cheated on sucks. Anybody who's experienced it will tell you that. And this is your wife, right? So I'm sure they're feeling it. I'm sure they got hit hard. Plus it's embarrassing. Think about how much publicity this got. They're not going to hear the end of this for a while. So Andy Byron's wife apparently is actually in hiding right now. I think she went to like Massachusetts. She's completely in hiding. And I get it because now she has to avoid like paparazzi, people trying to interview her. She probably had to shut down her social media accounts. She's going to have to lay low for at least the next year.
Yeah, it was actually a $2.4 million house in Wayne.
In
Maine.
In Maine.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. Which is, that's a smart move because Maine is probably as quiet and low key as you're going to get in the U.S. So, yeah, it sucks, man. I feel for them.
Yeah, it's a tough situation all around. So, any final conclusion from this before we wrap up?
Yeah, I mean, like I said at the beginning of the video, I thought it would be cool for us to do a reaction to this because it went viral. So when this video came out, we're going to do a reaction on it.
We had to talk about it a little late, but better late than never. So I think it's important to touch on this because look what's happening around the world.
Look, all in all, I personally think what happened in this video is not that big of a deal. I really don't entirely understand why it went that viral. I think there's much more worse things that have happened that did go viral, and it makes sense. This whole thing was kind of stupid. look, I just hope for this guy's case, even though he was in the wrongdoing, I hope he doesn't lose half his shit and royally get screwed over, because that's probably what's going to happen next. So,
yeah, I think that they should, all of them should just for the peace of mind, take accountability, fess up to what happened. It happened. It is what it is. You got caught. It's done now. What can you do? But again, I hope these folks don't get their lives destroyed because of this. This is not something that it's worth letting it just crumble your life over.
this wasn't that serious. Like I said, if he got caught like a sex tape leaked, or they got caught like hooking up like straight up in some like restaurant and the whole thing was on video, like something nasty, then I get it. But all this really was is a video of him hugging a woman at a concert. And of course you can assume that's the woman he's cheating with, and you can assume they're having sex, but in the video itself, nothing really happened. So
Right, the video specifically doesn't outline anything that they were doing aside
Correct.
from them hugging. Again, we could make up scenarios and think of what happened
Assume.
before or what would have happened afterwards. But hey, you take it at face value. It is what it is, and it shouldn't let these folks crumble them. And unfortunately, the hit they might take is the hit that the company has taken because of it. But it shouldn't have gotten that far.
yeah,
In my view, I don't think it should have gotten that far.
Yep.
I think people from the outside made it get that far and blew it up, and just, oh, you're cheating, oh, we got you, and now you're bad. And
we've seen a lot of these like scandals, like especially since we're in this space, we always try to keep on top of this stuff to react to it and make our videos on it. This particular one, I don't get the virality of it, but it is what it is. That's how the internet works. The people decide. So
right. And there's a lot of people that cheat too. So again, they're getting the public scrutiny and they're getting the fame, or it's infamous now for them. But again, things happen and people should be able to move on and live their lives the best way possible.
yeah,
So-
and I personally think if he gets divorced, he should enjoy the next 10 years of his life and go lay pipe and enjoy yourself. You earned it.
At that point, yeah, you might as well just go ahead and
You got nothing to lose.
enjoy your life, and obviously take that money, put it into some other investment, and enjoy your life and make the best of it. Because
Go to Colombia.
don't get married again.
He should become a passport bro. He should just become a passport. If your wife leaves you, you're not going to get remarried at the age of 50.
We talked about passport bros, yeah, and how it works out for them for the most part. Obviously, don't put yourself in a bad situation where you can get in trouble. You go to somewhere where you don't know too well. But hey, guys are making it happen outside of the country too, because here in the West, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. So
I think in the next year or so, you may see a video from us doing a Colombia recap. I don't want to give too much away, but I think you guys might see a Colombia recap video coming, so keep an eye out for that.
we'll probably be going out to Colombia at some point. If it's not end of this year, it'll be sometime next year, and you'll see probably do a vlog from out there.
I think we'll definitely do a vlog out there and try to get as much content as we can, and when we get back, we'll make videos on that, and we'll do a recap of the trip.
Yeah.
So
All right, guys. So we'll leave you with that. For Rob, thank you for joining us here on the podcast, guys. And make sure you don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification button. Get us to 10,000. I know we're a bit far out from that, but get us to 10,000 subscribers. We're trying to push the engagement, trying to get that reach out there to as many people as possible. We put in a lot of hard work and hours into this, and we do it for you guys. We do it because we enjoy it, but we also do it to be able to impact each and every one of you. At least if we can impact one or two of you, we've done our job, and we feel good about that. So again, for Rob, I am Nando. We will see you next time. Peace.